Good day, my name is Vinod Kumar, CEO of Tata Communications. I apologize that I can't be with you in person, but here's a short video message to convey our sentiments on France, on Lille and Euratechnologies. Firstly, I wish to congratulate you on having this event and for getting such a great group of leaders together. Before we go any further, let me share you my perspective on why Tata Communications feels that France and Paris and Lille are so important to the global economy and to our strategy. As a company, we are focused on serving the needs of large multinationals who operate around the world and who are bridging the gap between the developed world and the emerging world. In that context, when we look at France, France is the fifth largest economy in the world, the second largest economy in Europe in nominal terms. Also, other interesting facts that we find about France are the following. France lists fourth in the list of countries that have a presence in the Fortune 500 list. The other important tidbit that I picked up recently was in terms of additions of companies to the Fortune 500 list, France is the fastest growing country in the world. When we look at Paris as a city, it's obviously a vibrant city with great art and culture and of course great food, and needless to say the wine is fantastic. But more importantly, from our perspective, Paris is a city which houses more headquarters of multinational companies than cities like London, Shanghai, New York and so on. That's quite an amazing feat. In that context, when we look at from Tata Communications perspective, when we look at France and Paris, we find it a very vibrant place for us to establish our presence to serve both French multinationals, but also learn from the country and learn from these companies on how global business is done. Tata Communications is a global communications service provider that serves the needs of multinational companies who need cross-border connectivity, and that cross-border connectivity may be in the form of voice, data, video, collaboration solutions, data center infrastructure and so on. Essentially, we provide key infrastructure elements and services that go with it that help multinationals like yours operate around the world. Our business is to enable your companies to go global. And we pride ourselves with the speed that we do it with the technologies that we bring to bear, and most importantly, a culture which is truly global, truly cultural. For example, you may not know the fact that we don't have a headquarters. My top leadership team is distributed around 6 cities in the world, and we use the technologies that we create for you to run our business and really test whether they work well or not before bringing it to market. Similarly, our product and engineering capabilities are not concentrated in one country. A lot of our activity as a business is outside India, which is our home market. You may not know, for example, that India accounts for 25% of our revenues, but 75% of our revenues comes from around the world. So we do come from a position of understanding of how business is done globally and how talent and technologies are harnessed around the world to provide services to the customers regardless of where they may be. Looking at the Tata Group itself, we are a fairly large enterprise with a diverse set of companies, almost 95 companies that are spread across 7 key sectors. The group is about $100 billion in revenues. But talking about Tata Group in France, we have about 2,500 employees in France, generating almost $2 billion of revenues from the operations that we have in France. Many of our companies, both in the steel sector, from the steel sector through technology companies like TCS and Tata Communications, are very active and growing rapidly in France, helping both the domestic companies but also going internationally from France as a base. We feel that contributing to the local economy and to being part of the life of a country's fabric is extremely important. So an interesting data point is that Tata Steel manufactures about 80 to 90% of the rails which are used by SNCF for the railways across France. So we really are, on the ground serving the French citizens. But our association with France goes back a long way. JRD Tata, who was one of the most well-known chairman of the Tata Group, along with Mr. Ratan Tata, was born in France. He had French blood in him, and he was emotionally very attached to France. And we feel that the association with the country goes beyond business and economy to also where one of our most well-recognized and future shaping architects of the group, Mr. JRD Tata, came from, and it will always bind us to France and to the French people. Just to elaborate a little bit on Tata Communications and our activities in France, We're a global internet service provider. We carry about 8% of the world's internet traffic, which is fairly significant. But in the entire global network, our Paris internet node is the largest node and is where we collect the most amount of traffic and deliver the most amount of traffic compared to any other city node anywhere in the world. Large internet service providers like France, like Free and SFR are our customers, and we've had a long association with them. Talking about association, we've been in France and having our presence there with people and technology and other capabilities since 2005. And this presence has grown over the last several years, almost a decade now, where we have built our team there, and we also serve an increasing number of French companies as well as other companies who do business in France, delivering their traffic into the country and carrying it outside France into Europe and the rest of the world. For now, for example, we serve about half the CAC 40 companies by offering some form of service to them and hopefully enabling them to grow their businesses in France and outside. In terms of what we provide, it's the whole range of services. We provide various forms of internet services, various forms of connectivity services, but increasingly we've been providing services which really enable global collaboration using our broad portfolio of video-based collaboration services. Telepresence, which many of you may have heard of or even used, is a service which is in our flagship product for us. And we began offering this service through partnership with Euratechnologies in Lille in order to bring the development ecosystem, the startup ecosystem that is being created in Lille and which is flourishing, and connecting them to the rest of the world. We provide a whole range of interesting technologies and services to French businesses that enable connectivity and commerce between France and the rest of the world. Beginning with fundamental infrastructure, we are the largest owner of submarine cable networks in the world, and France is a key location for us to provide connectivity between France and other parts of Europe, as well as between France and India, touching many other countries along the way. In 2012, we launched a cable between Marseille and Mumbai, providing the fastest connectivity highway between India and Europe, and along the way we serve many Middle East countries as well as many African countries. So that's as far as fundamental infrastructure is concerned. We also provide complex and advanced services like video-based collaboration services, like the one we provide in Lille through our partnership with Euratechnologies, and that's our telepresence service that allows high-end collaboration between companies that have distributed offices around the world. Therefore, it's a broad range of capabilities that, with the help of our partners, we've been able to bring to France and to the French companies. The rapid growth of Tata Communications over the years has been possible because of working with partners around the world and building long-lasting relationships and looking at creative models in which we can do them. The relationship that we have with Euratechnologies in Lille has been a classic case of how we worked with a very enterprising company that's creating an exciting ecosystem in Lille, but that leverages technology. And similarly, we're working with companies in Silicon Valley, in Israel, in Bangalore, in the Boston area and so on, bringing ecosystems that bring large companies closer to smaller companies that leverage technologies to bridge the gap. So we think this is a great example for us to learn from and to showcase internally, but hopefully the joint partnership we have with Euratechnologies will be a platform and a showcase that other players can also learn from and benefit from. Over the last few years, our business in France has been growing by over 30% each year. I see no reason why, and I'm really confident that in the coming 2 to 3 years, Tata Communications will grow its presence in France and grow its business in France by at least 25 to 30% per year. We look forward to working with all of you in the room to grow your businesses, but to also enable our growth. I sincerely hope that you have a great conference and have great discussions. And again, I apologize that I couldn't be there in person with all of you. Good day.